Game theory. Or should I say, lame theory. I know, that was awful. I think you guys all know that I really don't like this YouTube series, and I really think it's bad. And before I go on, I just want to say that if you watch my original game theory rant, I mentioned this video that I'm responding to as an example for one of his older videos being crap. So think of this commentary as a sequel to that rant. And before I begin, I just want to address the inevitable, "it's just a theory" argument that I will hear from some of his fans. Look, just because it's a made-up theory, that doesn't mean it gets a free pass from criticism. Theories are made to be argued and criticized, so please don't throw that "it's just a theory" nonsense at me. Without further ado, let's dive in. Oh, and I'm skipping his intro.
Wakey wakey!
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory, voted Show of the Year in the year 20XX. Now, let me come right out and say it. I love me some Blue Bomber. I don't often replay games, but when I do, I prefer Mega Man.
And of course, it wouldn't be a game theory video without unfunny, overused memes. Skip.
Wakey wakey!
Dr. Wily, you know, evil genius out to conquer the world using his robot army, he's not the one to blame in these games.
This guy over here uses killer robots to try to conquer the world, but he is not the one to really blame, okay? Dude, are you serious right now?
Wakey wakey!
Dr. Wily is the one to turn a legion of specialized work robots against humanity, so that would seem to make him pretty bad. But is all of this his fault? I used to think so until I saw this moment from the end of Mega Man 7. At the end of the game, surprise surprise, Rock has Wily begging for mercy, but this time it's a little different. Mega's not having any of Wily's pleas. "I gonna do what I should have done years ago," he says, apparently so enraged he forgot to use his helping verbs. But Dr. Wily reminds him, robots can't hurt humans. That's the way they're programmed. And that's when Mega Man reveals, in probably the slowest text scroll ever featured in a video game, that he is more than a robot. We all know that the next word is robot. A robot. That he is more than a robot.
You do realize that in the original Japanese version of this game, Mega Man doesn't say anything. In fact, as soon as Wily reminds him that a robot can't harm a human, Mega Man stops. So this already pretty much shoots your entire theory in the foot, as I will further explain later on in this video. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm willing to take the Japanese version as much more credible, seeing as how the game was made and originally developed in Japan to begin with. And I'm going to skip a little further to the part where he explains the laws of robotics.
Wakey wakey!
Is Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, which state the following. 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
Yeah, true, but again, in the original Japanese version, Mega Man did not violate any of those laws, so your point literally means nothing at this stage. You are basically trying to say, well, Dr. Light is to blame because he didn't give his robots any machine ethics when you don't have any actual evidence or proof for that absolute grandiose claim. The one point you did have was rendered null and void. And I'm going to skip a little bit because he drags on this point for a while.
Wakey wakey!
Criteria programmed into him by one man, Dr. Light. And Dr. Light didn't just give Mega Man this ability. Every murderous robot rampaging through the city was the result of the good doctor. Yes. Everything filters back to Dr. Light. Every robot master, every Wily scheme, every life lost.
Okay, this statement is utter bullcrap when you realize that Dr. Light in the classic Mega Man series only made Mega Man, Roll, Proto Man, and the Robot Masters from Mega Man 1 and 9. Dr. Wily made all of the Robot Masters after Mega Man 2, excluding Mega Man 9.
It seems like an extreme claim when there is very clearly a villain in the character of Dr. Wily, but
Thank you, MatPat, for debunking your entire theory. I really appreciate it.
to truly understand, you have to have a clear sense of the series' story. And since there's been a lot of confusion over the years about Mega Man's canon, let me briefly summarize the events of the series. Wily and Light attended the same school, the Robot Institute of Technology, or RIT. Oh, I get it. I see what you guys did. It's like MIT, but instead of the M, there's an R. I get it. Yep, got it. Dr. Light wanted to create human-like robots, ones with a sense of individuality, with purpose, a new level of artificial intelligence mimicking the human mind and free will. Thus, he created Proto Man, the world's first independent robot. But being independent, Proto Man escaped. So instead of doing anything about it, Dr. Light was like, well, better build two this time. And thus, Rock and Roll were created.
Proto Man was confirmed to be the early prototype of Mega Man, and when he was first built by Dr. Light, Proto Man had an issue with his power reactor. Because of this, Dr. Light assumed that he had died, considering his failed power reactor. And even then, Proto Man was not built as a combat robot originally by Light. It was Wily who modified him so he could become a combat robot to battle Mega Man. In fact, Proto Man's arm cannon and his shield were both created by Dr. Wily. So yeah, Dr. Light probably didn't do anything about Proto Man escaping because number one, Proto would have died anyways, and number two, he wasn't built for combat, so even then, what could he do?
Rock and roll. Well done, Capcom. Very clever. Tip of the cap. Tip o the cap. When those two didn't freak out like Proto Man, Dr. Light went on to build more, this time thematic robots, and hence the Robot Masters. Wily, meanwhile, saw all this as his opportunity. Though he wasn't a skilled programmer and couldn't create the artificial intelligence like Dr. Light could.
What do you mean he couldn't create the artificial intelligence that Light had created? He created Bass, who is considered to be another rival to Mega Man, and Bass has his own personality and everything.
He was able to manipulate the robots and recode them to do his bidding.
Okay, if he was able to manipulate the code of the Robot Masters, then why did you say literally seconds ago that he wasn't a skilled programmer? That makes no sense.
In fact, in Mega Man 9, we see that one way Wily is able to convince robots to join his ranks is by vowing to help them survive past their expiration date.
You are missing a very crucial point said in that piece of dialogue from the game. Can you repair us? In Mega Man 9, Dr. Wily didn't convince the Robot Masters to turn evil. He convinced the Robot Masters to let him modify them, and he reprogrammed all of them for malicious intent. That's why they all became evil in that game, because they were reprogrammed by Dr. Wily.
With the robot uprising underway, Dr. Light, knowing that the world's police forces and armies wouldn't be able to combat these new enemies, converts Rock into the fighting robot, Mega Man.
Super fighting robots. Mega Man.
Okay, since you literally acknowledged that Dr. Light made a robot to combat the evils of Dr. Wily, how can you sit there and still say that he is the true villain of Mega Man?
From that story, Dr. Light's responsibility for the events in the Mega Man series should become crystal man clear.
No, because you don't have proof that Light never gave his robots machine ethics, even though there is proof that he did, and Wily reprogrammed the robots to do his bidding. And even then, let's just play devil's advocate here and say, sure, Light never gave his robots machine ethics. Let's say that Light is 100% careless. Even if we go by that approach, that still doesn't change the fact that Wily is the only villain to blame because he is the one using the robots for evil in the first place. Even if Light is careless, that doesn't make him evil. You can't say he's apathetic either, considering he made Mega Man to fight those robots anyways. No matter what angle we throw at this theory, it's awful. Just absolutely awful.
He built robots that had cannons, bomb launchers, and giant scissors bolted to their bodies, then took it upon himself to give these machines autonomy.
Okay, now you are just playing dumb. You do realize that context is important, right? He gave Bomb Man bombs for demolition. He gave Cut Man giant scissors to cut down trees. He gave Fireman cannons to incinerate garbage such as your absolutely awful YouTube videos.
He willfully ignored conventions like Asimov's laws and instead decided that these robots should have the equivalence of free will.
Oh my god. Let's fully read this statement. Yes, humans have been creating tools to make their lives easier for thousands of years. Why then do we need them to think and feel on their own? The more complicated the duties, the more robust the AI needs to be to manage them. The future of advanced AI will allow them to make complex decisions on their own, maximizing their efficiency. He said he gave the robots full AI. That doesn't mean he didn't give his robots any machine ethics. Couldn't it be possible that, yes, Light gave his robots the ability to think on their own, but also gave his robots strict rules saying that violence is a big no-no? Just because someone can think on their own, that doesn't mean they will go and cause harm to others. We can apply this logic to humans. And I'm going to skip a little more, considering he basically repeats a lot of the points he already made.
Wakey, wakey!
He was willing to progress the field forward, but was unwilling to take responsibility for everything that meant.
He created Mega Man to fight the Robot Masters. How could he have not taken responsibility?
And see, that's the important part. The technology is easy. In fact, it's already coming into existence. With all the political warring in the area, between North and South Korea is a demilitarized stretch of land 2.5 miles wide. Step foot into that territory, and you will immediately be shot, no questions asked, by the thousands of patrolling soldiers. It's one of the deadliest areas in the world for humans.
Okay, I know that this is just a dumb nitpick, but am I the only one that finds it hilarious that he went from a video talking about a robot in a blue jumpsuit to talking about fucking North Korea? Like, seriously?
But it just got a little bit deadlier. This is the Super Aegis 2, an autonomous gun tower that can sense and lock onto human targets in complete darkness at a distance of nearly 1.5 miles. Once locked on, it has a machine gun, an optional grenade launcher upgrade, and can be loaded out with practically whatever weapon an owner feels like strapping onto it. A laser and gyroscope help calibrate the aim, delivering precision punishment to whoever stumbles into this part of the jungle. This thing is deadly.
He's still talking about it. Like, what the hell? Oh, okay. I'm officially done here because he doesn't really have anything of substance for the rest of the video. Anyways, my final thoughts is that this video is absolutely dreadful. I don't care that this is old. This is honestly, in my opinion, worse than the Mario is mental theory and is legit one of the worst theories MatPat has ever made. This is probably going to be the only video I make on game theory, by the way, besides the game theory rant that I already made. Because honestly, I honestly just don't know what to say about this channel. I'm done talking about it, okay? I'm not Manga Kamen, okay? If you want to see more game theory commentaries, go watch that idiot, okay? But this is my channel. Whatever. Anyways, this is MegaDoopTV here, the Ultra Ant here, signing off. Have a nice day, everybody.